Katie here for Bread and Water Theater with Zachary Reeb. He's playing Václav Nijinsky in Nijinsky's Last Dance, which will be running the 16th through the 18th. And I have 10 questions for him. First question, what attracted you to acting?
I'm gonna have to be really truthful here. It was girls. I was never in any sort of theater when I was growing up in elementary school or middle school. I got into it in high school. I didn't have any friends because I had just gotten to the school. I was new to it, and I kind of accidentally tried out for theater. I walked into the drama department thinking it was Shakespeare Club, and it was actually an audition for Shakespeare's The Tempest. And I looked around, noticed that there was more girls than boys, so it felt like a good place to stick around, and it's just stuck ever since.
How do you spend your time when you're not acting?
When I'm not acting, I'm usually either working or working on learning my lines and even if I'm not acting, I still feel like I'm acting every day. Just making people laugh at work, just going through my day-to-day and trying to do it the best that I can, I guess.
So for some questions about the play itself, what is Nijinsky's Last Dance about?
Nijinsky's Last Dance is a really, really beautiful show, and I think that this time around it really belongs to me and Kevin and Nijinsky, and I really think that Nijinsky himself would really, really enjoy this show and this portrayal of him in the asylum, because it's not offensive, as some would say. It's just pretty much his telling of his life, and instead of doing it in a memoir, he just tells his story of his life and embodies every character that had a significant effect on his life. Whether it be his wife or his lover, who was also his impresario for all the ballets that he did. I don't know, I've always just felt connected to it, just ever since I started. I never, ever thought I'd be doing any sort of dancing or in a play with dancing, because I've never danced before in my life.
You mentioned Nijinsky embodying different characters. What was it like to play multiple characters while still remaining in that role?
That was probably the hardest challenge of them all. Just when Kevin would just say, just work on the character of Nijinsky and just be Nijinsky when you're on stage. It's kind of hard to take him seriously, because not only am I Nijinsky, I'm playing 9 other people while I'm on stage. I just go through, and they happen so quickly. It was really difficult, I would say, just learning how to play as a girl, different girls at that too. Just one of them would be my sister, which is she's really young and kind of flighty, and the other one is really my age, older and educated and smart. And it was just really different to try to play 3 different girls with differences in the characters besides just a high voice. And that's just all I really had. All right, I'm playing a girl. I have to have a high voice, but there has to be distinct, finite differences between all of them. And it was difficult, but rewarding, because I think it'll help overall when I do other roles, whether they be male or female or whatever.
How is this play unique in relation to plays you may have performed in the past?
Well, it's definitely been my first one-man show that I've ever done, and everything that I had done beforehand was in mostly a high school setting, so we're all kind of a tight-knit group, and we're really supportive of each other. A few of us have never done stuff before, so we're all kind of new at it. And this was whenever I wanted advice or help from on certain issues in the play, I would have to go and find people. I couldn't actually just talk with my castmates about whatever was going on, should we work on this? It was rehearsals. It's just pretty much me and my director Kevin just kind of hanging out and working on different parts of the show. It's been a really, really unique experience, especially the cast parties. You're really alone.
The next question has 2 parts. What was most satisfying about this role, and then what was most challenging?
Most satisfying, I would say, is when I started doing this, I really wanted, the one thing that I really wanted to happen was someone would come up to me after the show, like just some old timer, like preferably like Russian or Ukrainian or something, and they just have some history with this show. Like maybe they recognize the name Nijinsky, maybe they're old enough that they went and saw one of Nijinsky's ballets, and I don't know, it's from a whole other corner of the world. It just really struck so many different topics that I had no idea about. So I'm learning so much as I go through it. I just really wanted someone to come up to me and be like, you embodied Nijinsky, like that was what I saw back in the day, and it actually happened. One person came up to me after the show, an older woman, and just really thick accent that I could barely understand, and she was just really excited. She was just like, that was awesome, and that was definitely what was most rewarding. The challenging part is just finding time to work on everything, and you can't do it all at once. You can't just work on the posture of one character and devote a lot of time to working on that. You have to move, you have to work on this character and the posture and the characterization for this person, and then later in the show you have to work on the blocking and something crazy different for all the other characters that I go through. Just, yeah, the multiplicity of characters, I would say, is the most challenging.
What reactions have you received from audience members to this play?
Well, my family and friends have been, of course, like really supportive, and it's been really great, just their support throughout all. I've gotten a few different reactions just because it's in a church, and it's some homosexual themes, and some parts of it are a little risque, and they're kind of like, well, why are you doing this in a church? Like, it doesn't really make any sense. But, I mean, Bread and Water Theater has been really great throughout this whole process, and I don't know. I just think it's been really great.
Last question. Why should people come see Nijinsky's Last Dance?
Nijinsky's Last Dance will definitely be one of the most intense, exciting plays that you'll see. If you have any love for drama, or even if you don't and you just want to see me go crazy for an hour and a half. It really is something, one-man theater. I actually looked into a few different shows that just had one person in them, and I don't know, it's been a really great experience, and I would suggest everyone come and see this. It's just, not for me, not for my director, for Nijinsky, really. It's that good, just for his story.
Thank you, Zach. Nijinsky's Last Dance by Norman Allen will be presented at 243 Rosedale Street, the corner of Monroe Ave and Rosedale Street, beginning July 16th and running through July 18th. Performances are on Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m. For more information, please visit breadandwatertheater.org.